Can everyone hear me okay? Hello, my name is Larry Seabrack. I'm the president of the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass and one of your hosts for today's meetup on May 27th, 2002. Welcome and good afternoon, morning, or evening, whatever time zone you may be in. Today, we are presenting a special program to provide an update on the AACG's role and contributions to the United Nations International Year of Glass. Today's program is not only available to our AACG members, but we have opened this to our broader public interested in art made from glass. Furthermore, international members from the Museum, Arts, Archaeology, and History Committee, representing 18 regions around the globe and chaired by Teresa Medici of Italy, have been invited. Unfortunately, Teresa could not join us today. Also, the members of the North American Steering Committee, which is coordinating the International Year of Glass activities in the US and Canada, were invited. During the program, please put your questions and comments in the chat, and we will be screening them during the hour. This event will be available on the AACG YouTube by this evening. Can I have the next slide, please? So just to refresh your memory, it was in May of 2021 when the General Assembly of the United Nations formally declared 2022 as the International Year of Glass. This was spearheaded by the Spanish consulate and led by the current president of the International Commission on Glass, Dr. Alicia Duran of Spain. This concept began as an offshoot of the UN's International Year of Light and Light-Based Technologies back in 2015. Soon thereafter, David Pye and executives at Corning dealt with the emerging paradigm that we have entered the age of glass. This book, Welcome to the Glass Age, was published for the opening ceremonies in Geneva in February and is available to download through the IYOG.org website. Next slide, please. In 2018, Professor Manoj Chowdhury of the ICG and Dr. David Pye of Alfred University introduced a formal motion while at their annual conference in Japan to the United Nations, which read, "The International Commission on Glass, representing organizations and individuals throughout the world dedicated to the promotion of science, technology, artistry, and applications of glass, enthusiastically endorses the exploration for a future declaration of a Year of Glass by the United Nations." The rest is history, and here we are today to give you a mid-year update. After my introduction, we will have the privilege to hear directly from Dr. Chowdhury. The AACG was one of the first organizations representing the arts and glass to endorse the concept of the International Year of Glass. I believe it was at the end of 2020 or early 2021. Even before the formal declaration, I had formed a committee to focus on the role of the AACG in promoting and endorsing as many museum exhibitions, lectures, university and specialized glass programs, gallery exhibitions, and community-based glass centers specifically honoring the Year of Glass. This AACG IYOG committee has worked tirelessly and creatively to reach out to all of the glass-centric organizations and venues that I just mentioned. The committee has been so expertly and professionally co-chaired by Jan Smith and Bonnie Marks. They and all of the members, Felice Appel, Mary Childs, Jane Buckman of Imagine Museum, Kathy Jordan of the American Glass Guild, Diane Farber, Linda Green, and our president-elect, Dimitra Theophanos, have taken on innovative leadership roles to continue our efforts to celebrate this once-in-a-lifetime global celebration of the International Year of Glass. In mid-2021, it was our initial perception that the response from the glass arts community was unsure of their role or their commitment to supporting the International Year of Glass. The sense was that material sciences, technology, industry, sustainability efforts, medical applications, and architecture were at the forefront, and that the arts and museums were possibly considered supplemental to the global effort. However, because of the visual and tangible accessibility of the arts to the general public, art made from glass has been featured as much as possible. In fact, most of the scientific and technical conferences which are scheduled globally are including lectures, symposia, and panels, as well as exhibitions and museum visits in their programming. The evidence is building that new productive collaborations between glass art programs and the scientific community will evolve. Examples of this new communication was evident in the opening ceremonies at the Palace of Nations in Geneva, Switzerland in February. The same goes for the National Day of Glass Conference in Washington, D.C. in early April, and the Glass Optics Material Division Conference actually ending today in Baltimore, which includes glass demonstrations and an exhibition with local glass artists well known to all of you and organized by our board member, Howard Cohn. The next slide. No, just go back one, please. So I also have the pleasure of sitting on this International Museum of Arts and Archaeology and History. And I just wanted to bring everyone up to date because at the moment, this committee is working on 4 major programs. One, the enhancement of the IYOG website to be more inclusive and accessible to all of the 18 regional organizations globally. 2, to the establishment of a virtual museum of art made from glass, which will continue in perpetuity. This is being led by Esther Bohus of the Bohus Lugosi Foundation in Hungary. Many of our AACG membership is familiar with the art glass sculptures of the late Zoltan Bohus and his wife, Maria Lugosi. The establishment, number 3, is the establishment of the 7 Glass Wonders of the World project, organized by Lothar Bacher of South Africa. And the 4th of this committee is they are promoting and supporting glass art exhibitions globally on every continent. The next slide, please. The National Day of Glass, held in Washington in early April, was very successful and was well represented by the arts. There will be a National Day of Glass commemorative book as seen in this prototype. There are several personal essays included, one written by myself and AACG member and American Glass Guild President Kathy Jordan. Also, I take great pleasure in announcing that our co-chair of this committee, Jan Smith, has written a full-length article on contemporary glass, which will be the sole article on contemporary art in the book. So kudos to Jan. And here are a few other images of the National Day of Glass. And the next slide. And before we continue our review, it is a distinct honor for me to present to you a person that I have worked with these last many months, an individual with an amazing international background, as you can see in this slide. He is someone I have gained the utmost admiration and respect for, and who I can now call my colleague and friend, Manoj Chowdhury. Sadly, during this pandemic, we have still not met in person. Manoj is the chair of the North American Steering Committee, and he will give us his insights on the progress of the International Year of Glass. Manoj.
Thank you very much, Larry. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Good. I was experiencing some audio problem with the computer yesterday. So Larry, thank you so much for the opportunity to say a few words. It's my great pleasure to do so and a great honor to do so. So good afternoon, good evening. Looks like we have an international cast. Maybe there's some good morning as well. To all of you, greetings from myself. Larry has summarized the history leading up to the UN declaration of the International Year of Glass very well. As he mentioned, in 2021, On May 18, the UN General Assembly approved the resolution to declare this year, 2022, as the International Year of Glass. Now, UN has been doing these international declarations since 1959, and it has honored by this designation many human endeavors, including many branches of sciences, physics, chemistry, periodic table, and some more. However, this is the first time that UN has chosen a specific material, namely glass, and honor the material in such a way. So this is truly a seminal moment for all of us connected with glass, whether we are from academia, arts and museum, industry, it doesn't matter. We can take great pride in having this declaration. Now, once the UN declared this, approved this resolution, we found that a lot of individuals, institutions were planning to celebrate the event. And we needed a forum where this diverse community associated with glass could come together to collaborate, to communicate, and coordinate. And that was the purpose for setting up the North American Steering Committee, US and Canada. I have the great honor of chairing that group along with Kathy Jordan, whom you all know, and Professor Yunus Masadek of University of Laval in Canada. We also are greatly honored that Larry is a member of the steering committee. And there are many more. So what we have tried to do in the steering committee is to have representation from all the key constituencies. So we have art and museum represented. Carol White is there from Corning Museum. We have the glass scientists and technologists represented, glass industry. We have representation from the International Council. So we have about 24 or 25 members. And personally for me, coming in as the chair of this committee, of course, I had my own notion of how diverse the glass art group is. I expected that. But I have been very impressed, surprised, pleasantly surprised, I should say, at discovering the immense diversity that the art and museum community has. For me, it has been a great learning experience. All my life, or much of the life that I remember right now, I've been dealing with science, technology, engineering. I've been fortunate to have associated with figures from literature, theater, and even cinema, but not much interaction, hardly any interaction with the glass art and glass museum community, although I have visited many glass museums all over the world. So all I can say, it has been a great personal journey for me, a great honor to have Larry, Kathy, Carol White, et al. As my colleagues. And it's also a great matter of great pride for me to call them my friends. So we have been involved in a number of activities. Larry mentioned we had the National Day of Glass in April 5 to 7. We have just finished, or to be finished today, the Glass and Optical Materials Division. A few weeks ago, we had a big conference focused on glass and attended by people from Francophone countries, obviously France, Canada, and many countries from Middle East and Africa. And there are many more coming up. Of course, in July, as you all know, we'll have at the Corning Museum the conference of the American Glass Guild. And there are many more. I mean, I saw the list that Janice Smith had put together several weeks ago, the number of activities that you all are planning. So again, let me tell you that it is a great honor for me to be associated with all of you, and with help from Larry, Kathy, and my colleagues in the steering committee, I think we have done a reasonably good job of bringing all of us together. There have been far more collaboration than any would have imagined. And what gives me great satisfaction is that I fully anticipate that this collaboration, especially involving glass artists, glass museum, and glass technologists, glass scientists, we have sowed the seed, it has germinated, and I think it will flourish even more in the future. It will transcend 2022. That is certainly my hope. With that, I again thank you, Larry, for the opportunity to say a few words. I probably exceeded my 3 to 4 minutes limit, so I apologize for that. It's a great honor. And finally, one parting thought I would like to give is that in the science and technology side, we have tried very hard to have diversity, representation of our female colleagues. And from the list of participants, I can see that our colleagues and friends in the arts community are way, way, way ahead of us. So kudos to all of you for showing us where science and technology could also be headed to. So thank you very much for the opportunity again to talk, and all the best to all of you in your various expositions, conferences, and exhibitions. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you for your insights and for your kind words. Before I present our next speaker, if we can just show a few slides of a current event. Next slide, Mary. So what's going on actually right now is there's a conference going on in Baltimore called the Glass Optics and Materials Division. And in association with this scientific conference, Howard Cohn has curated, along with Amy Raish of the Goya Contemporary Gallery and Linda Clark of Copen State University. And you can see the artists listed above. Many of the AACG members are quite familiar with these artists, including Tim Tate and Joyce Scott, Michael Janis, many others who are known in the Baltimore and Washington area. And this is just an example of the collaboration taking place in the arts as well as the technology and science. And the next slide shows a few installation shots of the exhibit going on in Baltimore as we speak. And I think there's one more after this. And then the next slide is a slide to remind you, and Manoj mentioned that in July, which is a perfect time of year to visit Corning, New York, the Glass Art Guild, which is the president of which is Kathy Jordan, who's become a member of the AACG and is on our committee. She will be presiding over their annual conference in Corning. And if some of you would like to visit their website, it's a blockbuster conference and exhibition and educational forum that you are, if you're in the area, you may want to go to. And so now I want to present to you our president-elect, Dimitra Theophanos, who will continue the International Year of Glass update. Demetra, it's all yours.
Thank you, Larry. So it's been quite a year, and as you all know, we are making our way through the pandemic and trying to get out there again. And it's been really great, as Larry has mentioned, to see various organizations coming together and really collaborating to celebrate the International Year of Glass. One event that recently took place was the Glass Art Society Conference in Tacoma, Washington. And it was really a great chance for people to finally reunite after 2 years of not having an in-person conference and to see each other again. So it was about celebrating not only learning, but also connection. And as you can see here, we have Preston Singletary and Raven Sky River that did a really incredible collaboration together. We also had a lot of very interesting lectures on the merging of science and glass, which has been really a hot button topic. And we did a lot to really try to amplify voices as well. So having organizations like Crafting the Future, founded by Corey Pemberton, to really celebrate different voices in glass. So please go to the website. You'll see more information there about the conference in case that's something you'd like to participate in next year. Also coming up, I want to mention that the Bergstrom Mahler Museum of Glass in Wisconsin is having an annual glass art auction catching fire. The silent auction is actually going to be online. So regardless of where you are, you can participate in that. And then the live auction will be in person. The auction is taking place in July, and you can also find that on their website. Another upcoming event that the Bergstrom Mahler Museum is having is the Glass Arts Festival. This is a shift from a festival that they had in the past that was primarily sales oriented. This festival is in its inaugural year as a new format. It's going to be on the museum grounds, and it's really supposed to be more community oriented and immersive. So they're going to have activities for kids, live demonstrations, and of course, plenty of glass to see, view, and purchase if desired. That's coming up in August. And then another thing that you can see at the museum is an incredible retrospective exhibit by Michael Milan called Primordial Shift. And this was particularly timely because it's not only the International Year of Glass, but also the 60th anniversary of Studio Glass. And Michael certainly is a really wonderful example of the innovation and creativity that came out of that time. If you are not in Wisconsin and are not able to visit the exhibit in person, we did have a fired up artist talk with him recently that you can find on the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass YouTube channel. And that's really a great thing to tune into and to see. And we're going to show you now some more images from his exhibition. This was an incredible installation that he had. And what was really interesting about this piece was that it actually moves. So the corn that you see suspended actually is moving around and even hitting each other as the piece is in motion. And they encourage visitors to the museum to actually come up and to touch the exhibit and to gently move the pieces around. So that's really something special and unique if you have a chance to visit the museum in person. And of course, the shadows on the wall are incredible, and a lot goes into Michael's installations, as you will see. He's down to the very detail in terms of the symbolism, and the conceptual nature of his work is quite moving. Okay, now I would like to introduce Jan Miranda Smith. She is the co-chair of the International Year of Glass Committee, has done such an incredible job coordinating everything for us, and brings really a wealth of experience with her from her time as executive director at the Bergstrom Mahler Museum, as well as her curatorial experience. So we really benefited greatly from all of her expertise and experience she's had to offer. Thank you, Jan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Demetra. I just want to follow up with a little piece from Bergstrom-Mahler Museum, as I just recently attended last weekend Paperweight Collectors Convention, which is all glass, people dealing with flame working primarily. They had nice attendance. It was part of the International Year of Glass calendar of events that happens every 2 years, and it takes place in different parts of the country. So I did have a chance to update people there on International Year of Glass happenings and encourage participation as they move forward with other plans and anything in their regional groups. They also had some live demonstrations of flame working and encasement of the flame worked pieces of glass by a collaborative group of artists using new studio equipment that had just been upgraded in the studio, so that allows for future work by students as well as visiting artists, and really expands their opportunities moving forward. So they purchased a baby dragon so they do not have a hot shop, but it enables them to do some small works that relate to their permanent collection and continue teaching. So this was a great opportunity. As we've been working with museums, there are a few that I've been working with and did not include them in this update. So just want to make a mention of taking some time to visit the Barry Museum website. They have some virtual tours that they've been doing of their galleries in glass, and we'll continue those as well as some of the regular program. And also in that Norfolk, Virginia area, the Chrysler Museum has a once-a-month Thursday performance piece in the Duggan Pat Perry Glass Studio, as well as some visiting artist programs to make note of. And then also not mentioned in this group, Toledo Museum of Art has been doing some amazing work within their community that will continue through the year. So that's what I've found fascinating, that these museums have been collaborating, but also continuing their programming and have definite plans for continuing some kind of events in the future. So next slide, a slide on Pittsburgh Glass that has ongoing programming in glass. So if you wouldn't mind going through this, Hot Jam is a regular once-a-month event that takes place to offer live demonstrations in the studio in a more social, fun kind of atmosphere. And then next slide, please. Aspire, a retrospective exhibition of young talent, so working with young students in the community and putting together an exhibition of the work resulting from their studio work. Next, please. Bringing young people into the studio with some of their community outreach programs. Next. And then Art on Fire celebration and auction, where they have live demonstrations as well as a gala event. And they do have some visiting artist programs. So here we have Janusz Pozniak as one of their visiting artists. So the next two slides, I believe, are the Art on Fire celebration and auction. With the auction live then coming up in September. People are continuing programming in glass, so the exhibition that they have planned is organized by Bullseye Glass, called Transitions in Kiln-Formed Glass. So that takes place into 2023. Next, please. Thank you. Another Wisconsin museum, the Leoki Woodson Museum of Art, had two concurrent glass exhibitions, one closing in June and the other closing in August. Art Deco Glass is a traveling exhibition, I believe organized by the Tacoma Art Museum, with a collection of David Hutchhausen, a fabulous collection of Art Deco. So it takes us a little bit out of the contemporary glass realm, but definitely work that leads up to the contemporary glass realm. Beautiful collection of works. There's two pieces here on view out of a group of, I'm unsure, about 200 pieces with a wonderful catalog that accompanied the show. Next, please. Molten is an exhibition of works from their permanent collection. They have put together a nice grouping that I believe there's some discussion of possibly touring this exhibition, and this will be on view until August sometime. So coinciding with these, they, and since they were running concurrently, they invited the Corning mobile glass unit. I'm used to calling it the Hot Glass Roadshow, but the mobile unit has delighted audiences worldwide, beginning from 2002 and then moving forward with bigger and better demonstrations. So when I visited this museum, and by that day, and I think they were just into their 4th or 5th day of presenting out of 10, they had said they entertained 4,000, at least 4,000 visitors or more. Many school groups, so introducing new general audiences to the wonderful works in glass in a large scale. They were doing something called designing by students. They used to call it design it, you make it, sketch your idea, and then the artists demonstrating would create these in glass. So just a great opportunity. And then as the audiences are able to watch, the Corning Museum does a great job of explaining the whole process as the person is working. So here we are. Next, please. Let me introduce Jane Buckman, who's been doing a fabulous job of organizing events in Florida region and demonstrating incredible imagination at the Imagine Museum. She has a variety of programs to share and initiatives. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jan, and thanks to the, am I unmuted? Yeah. And thanks to the AACG committee that has coordinated all of the material events, happenings. And I'm just making sure, can you all hear me? Because I can't hear anyone.
Yeah, you're okay, Jane.
I'm okay? All right, good deal. All right. As reported earlier, Imagine Museum embraced the concept of the International Year of Glass and adopted our theme for 2022 to be the Glass Age Transforming Our World, Art, History, Science, and Technology. We started off the year with a collaborative 52-piece installation entitled If a River Could Tell a Story by Trish Duggan and Martin Blank, and another tour de force piece from Martin entitled A Curious Conversation. It was a fabulous opening that coincided with the Habitat Glass Weekend in Sarasota, bringing together collectors, members, artists, and friends from all over the world. We continued with our theme by hosting a USF organization called Taste of Science, where we were part of their lecture series, giving a talk about the history of the glass material and the historical development of the contemporary glass art form. It was informative and fun, exposing their audience to the material of glass, both from the scientific perspective and the art perspective. We also developed a series entitled Studio Encounters, where we host events, demos, and receptions at the various hot shops and glass galleries and museums in our area, exposing our members and guests to experiences beyond the museum walls. We started this as part of our celebration, but it has been so successful, it is something we'll continue into 2023. At the end of April, we opened our Call to Artists exhibition entitled Florida in Transformation, again with the purpose to bring the Florida artists who work with glass together and appreciate the growth of this medium in the state. Larry Seabreck as our prize winner was our prize winner judge. We received over 100 entries with over 50 works displayed by 37 different artists. Our third place winner was Luisa Mesa a Miami-based Cuban artist for her works. Our second place winner was Luann Witchkit from Salt and Light Studios in Fort Myers, and then Rob Stern from Miami Beach took home the first prize for his works in the exhibit. It was a fun show, and I was delighted by the variety of work that was presented from across the state. Moving forward, we are currently planning a collaboration with the Chihuly Collection in St. Pete sometime in early September. We'll be offering a strolling dinner beginning at the Chihuly Collection with a historical look back at Chihuly and the mark he has made over the 60-year span of his career, ending up at Imagine Museum and the explosion of contemporary glass art from around the world. I'll keep everyone posted on that date, and it should be fun. It will happen in September. Two other fun notes to look forward to in the future as we go into the last quarter of the International Year of Glass, that Imagine Museum will be participating in the Iberia American First Biennale in Costa Rica at the end of August. This was all organized in celebration for the International Year of Glass. I was asked to be a judge for their major exhibition, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the contemporary glass art from Central and South America. And one last detail that's just being worked on now is that we have been asked to collaborate with Barengo Studios to bring a selection of work from the Imagine Museum to be exhibited in the Murano Museum of Glass. This exhibit will be opening September 23rd and running through the end of November. I'm curating that exhibition now and really looking forward to the exposure and opportunity. I've asked Barengo for a reciprocal deal where he will curate an exhibit for the Imagine Museum in 2023, when we'll be celebrating our 5th year of operation. We hope to have that date, or we'll have that celebration. Right now, we're looking at Saturday, February 25th. So to end my piece, I will say that contemporary glass art is definitely finding its way and moving very progressively into this 21st century. And thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Bonnie Marks.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay. As you can see, I'm the co-chair with Jan Smith of the International Year of Glass Committee for the AACG. I'm sharing with you today more opportunities than ever to explore the world of glass art. Next slide, please. On this slide, we're looking at the AACG homepage. You can access the calendar of glass events during IYOG 2022 by selecting events, which are indicated by the first red arrow, or exhibitions, which are indicated by the second red arrow. Events are generally the 1 to 3 days, and exhibitions are usually a month or more, with listing beginning and ending dates. You can find the AACG homepage on the AACG website, www.contemptglass.org. Check often, as the calendars are updated weekly. The AACG calendars are also shared with the National and International Year of Glass calendars, listing all the IYOG events worldwide. AACG members will receive their AACG quarterly newsletter soon, and that will list upcoming events and exhibitions during the Year of Glass and beyond. If you or your institution has an International Year of Glass event that's not already included in the global calendar, send your information anytime to admin@contemptglass.org. Next slide, please. Since January 2022, AACG has distributed over 200 media kits to museums and organizations that are celebrating the International Year of Glass. Watch for signage on entry doors, banners, and walls announcing 2022 is the Year of Glass. You'll notice the AACG and the IYOG logos, such as this sign that's posted on the entry door of the Rockford Art Museum. You'll also notice a QR code This code will connect visitors directly with the International IYOG website to learn more about the worldwide events during the Year of Glass. Next slide, please. The Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to further the development and appreciation of art made from glass. The AACG awards grants to 501c3 arts organizations to support specific educational purposes with preference for grants, which focus is education of the public, such as catalogs, brochures, videos, curatorial stipends, and residencies for visiting artists. During the International Year of Glass, preference was given to organizations that honored the IYOG 2022. This list, the 15 recipients selected to receive grants during 2022 for the International Year of Glass. You can review this list in alphabetical order. You'll notice all these events and exhibitions begin between July and October of 2022, and several continue into 2023. You'll find events in Pennsylvania, Washington, Wisconsin, Virginia, Michigan, New York, Arizona, Delaware, North Carolina, and Connecticut. Take time this summer and fall to visit as many of these museums and organizations as possible to support the International Year of Glass 2022. Next slide, please. Our IYOG committee is excited to present today 6 videos produced by museums specifically for today's MeetUp Zoom event. These 6 organizations will share with you their institution and their plans for honoring the International Year of Glass. Please support their programs and commitment to art made from glass. We hope you will enjoy these video presentations, and as a bonus, several museums also provided fascinating installation shots and highlighted specific artwork featured during the Year of Glass. We'll begin with the Fort Wayne Museum of Art in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't hear any audio.
Mary, we need audio.
Our plans in this fabulous International Year of Glass. I'm Charles Shepard, President and CEO of the Fort Wayne Museum of Art. And our major plan is to dedicate a full wing of this museum to contemporary glass sculpture. Starting July 16th, we will debut the Stephanie and Carl Belling collection of contemporary glass sculptures. This collection, a marvelous compilation of 188 museum quality pieces of glass, will be on view for the full summer. It was a gift from Stephanie Belling last year with an eye to helping us become a center for glass in the Midwest. It's a beautiful collection. I urge everyone who can travel this summer to come to see it. At the end of the summer, the treats continue. This wing will be the only section of the museum in my tenure here for 20 years that's dedicated to the collection of glass. All our other exhibits change on a regular basis, some 26 a year, but glass will be on view every day that we're open every week of the year. I invite you to visit the Fort Wayne Museum of Art during the International Year of Glass as we celebrate our new wing for glass, which opens on July 16th. We do hope to see you. Thank you so much.
Next, we have the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Charles Sable, Curator of Decorative Arts at the Henry Ford. I'm here to tell you what we're doing to celebrate this special International Year of Glass. After a 2-year hiatus, we are resuming our Artist in Residence program. The Henry Ford invites internationally renowned artists to spend 1 week each in our Greenfield Village hot shop. These artists in residence collaborate with our glass blowers, creating unique objects that demonstrate their distinctive approach to glass making. This summer, we've invited 2 sets of glass artists. The first will be Ben Cobb. Ben has been a practicing glass artist for 25 years and has taught at the Penland School of Craft and at Pilchuck. He's exhibited worldwide, including at the Tacoma Museum of Glass and the Museum of Northwest Art in Washington State. He is also widely known in the glass gallery world, most recently exhibiting at the Traver Gallery in Seattle, the Blue Rain Gallery in Santa Fe, and the Duncan McClellan Gallery in St. Petersburg, Florida. He will be here from June 9th through the 13th. Our second artist in residence is the team of Michael Schunke and Josie Gluck, known as Vetro Vero. Together, they share over 40 years of glassmaking experience. Their work is known for its remarkable clarity, spectacular colors, and clean forms. Vetro Vero creates enduring objects to honor function and enrich decor. Their pieces have been featured in publications including Architectural Digest, American Craft, House Beautiful, and Vogue. Michael studied the Tyler School of Art at Temple University and at the Rhode Island School of Design. He has taught at Haystack, Penland, and Pilchuck, to name just a few. He is represented by the Echt, Duncan McClellan, Traver, and Habitat Galleries. Josie attended the Appalachian Center for Craft and was a member of Dale Chihuly and Lino Talapietra's teams before receiving her MFA from the Art Institute of Chicago. She has taught at Haystack, Urban Glass, and Pilchuck. She is currently on the adjunct faculty of the Massachusetts College of Art and Design. Michael and Josie will be here from July 20th through the 24th. We are also adding a new display to our Davidson Gerson Modern Glass Gallery in the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. Each artist in residence has donated a piece of his or her work made in our hot shop to the museum as part of their contract. Since we began the program in 2017, we've added a number of exceptional pieces made in collaboration with our glassblowers to the collection. As part of the International Year of Glass celebration, we will be showing the best of these in a dedicated exhibit surrounded by some of the most important examples in the history of studio glass. I invite all of you watching this to the Henry Ford this summer to see our artists in residence in action, as well as to see our preeminent collection, which encompasses the rich history of studio glass from its origins to the present day.
Next, we have the Lebesnick Center for the Arts in Michigan City, Indiana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Laura Fosberg from the Lubeznik Center for the Arts in Michigan City, Indiana, where I am the Director of Exhibitions. We're having a great fall show titled We Are Us that runs from the end of October to the end of February. And it includes some really amazing artists, including Alex Katz, Romir Bearden, Jacob Lawrence, Toulouse-Lautrec, Romero Rodriguez, and more. And in the glass department, we're showing Thurman Statham, Ulrika Heinemann Valian, Stephanie Trenchard, and Elizabeth Sterling. So we're helping to celebrate the year in glass. Please come out and see these great artists that we'll have for you. And thanks so much.
Next, we have the Rockford Art Museum in Rockford, Illinois.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for featuring Rockford Art Museum for your meeting today. My name is Carrie Johnson. I'm the Executive Director and Curator at Rockford Art Museum, and we are so excited to celebrate the International Year of Glass this year, as well as the 60th year anniversary of Studio Glass. We're so excited to participate. So we are doing a very exciting exhibition this summer, running from June 10th through September 25th, called The Shape of Light. It's going to be a great mix of contemporary paintings paired with studio glass. So we're actually working with collectors from Chicago, as well as using pieces from our permanent collection. And we're really kind of focusing on Illinois artists too, so it's a very exciting exhibition. We are using pieces from our contemporary painting collection, and some of the artists that are incorporated into this show are Phyllis Bramson, Suzanne Doremus, William Conger, we've got Wesley Kimler, a lot of great Chicago artists, as well as many, many more. And we are so excited to feature some of our great glass artists, including Mark Fowler. We've got Carmen Lozar, John Wolfe, Jose Chartier, and many, many more as well. So again, thank you so much. We've got great programming going on with this exhibition as well. So keep an eye on our website for more information, but we're so looking forward to participating, and thanks again for having us.
Next, we're going to be seeing the Sandwich Glass Museum from Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Hello and welcome to 2022 and the International Year of Glass. This year, by UN proclamation, nation states around the world and industries, individuals who all use glass are celebrating this ubiquitous material that's in every facet of our lives. From industry, science, artistic uses, and personal uses, glass is everywhere. From the windows we see out of, the glasses we see through, the data that's carried on glass fibers, the screens in your phones, your computers, all glass. Glass is everywhere. My name is Wayne Stratman, and I'm a glass artist. I use glass and light to make sculpture. Currently, I have a show at the Sandwich Glass Museum. It's running now through the end of June, featuring 12 of my largest pieces and installations. Following that show is another show of 18 glass artists from around the world who use glass in a myriad of ways. I hope you'll be able to join us and take a look at glass and celebrate this International Year of Glass.
And finally, we have the Wadsworth Atheneum Museum of Art in Hartford, Connecticut.
Hello, AACG members. My name is Brandy Culp, and I'm the Curator of American Decorative Arts, and welcome to the Wadsworth. I'm thrilled to lead the project Fired Up Glass Today, which is scheduled for September 16th to February 3rd. We'll have special events for donors and members on September 13th, and we invite you to join us and get involved. This is going to be an exciting project, and we're thrilled to have the support of AACG. The Wadsworth was founded in 1842 as a contemporary art gallery. So that makes this institution the oldest continually operating public museum in America. Today, the collection has expanded to 5 historic buildings and represents 5,000 years and over 60,000 objects. Fired Up pulls this history forward. It's a major showing of over 50 contemporary artists, and each and every one have a desire to connect with their material and engage greater conversations surrounding community. These are glassmakers who are pushing boundaries and forging new paths and inspiring people in support of this art. Fired Up is a celebration. It's a celebration of our communities and art making. The works in this show are exceptional, not only for their sculptural beauty, but also for their ability to make bold statements about our shared reality, both past and present. Fired Up reveals new histories and we'll talk about breaking tradition in order to create tradition, contemporary glass movement. And while transforming and advancing historic glassmaking techniques, many of these artists are confronting difficult subjects through their art. I just want to thank the AACG and invite you all to the Wadsworth this fall to see Fired Up Glass today.
Many thanks to all these museums. These have been dynamic videos and presentations. So next, we have a slide. Please take a moment to review the AACG membership and benefits slide. Please note that AACG has weekly educational Zoom meetups. A quarterly newsletter is mailed to each member, including VIP passes to admission for art shows such as SOFA Chicago, collector tours and trips such as artist demos, and many opportunities to gather with others that share our passion. You can join today online at www.contemptglass.org. Next slide, please. This slide provides several resources and links to further explore the International Year of Glass. Today's meetup was dedicated to honoring the International Year of Glass 2022. This global initiative was endorsed by the United Nations in May 21 in response to declarations of support by over 2,000 worldwide organizations. Next slide, please. We're celebrating with institutions worldwide everything about glass, from art and architecture to history and technology to industry and science. Attending this meetup today makes you a participant in this global collaboration. Welcome to the Age of Glass. Thank you, everyone, for being present today. And now, Larry, do we have any questions in our chat box?
So the chat box, there are no questions in it now. So I think we can open this up. If you can unmute yourselves, if anybody has any questions or comments. We can take those. So we can probably stop the Mary, stop the PowerPoint, and we can go on gallery view.
Sure. Let's see if I can get out. Just want to thank you, Larry, and everyone who participated for exposing us to all the wonderful exhibits that going to be around. Thank you for all the hard work you've done as well.
Well, thanks for participating as well, Hal and Myra. It's good to see you. If anybody, does anyone else have any comments? This can be fairly, I think we can probably, Linda, stop the recording.